Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, I just had a good conversation with my boy T in regards to the NBA and the LA Lakers and what he thinks LeBron should do. He's been a long-term Bron fan. He was a Bron fan back when Kobe was playing in his prime. This is a long-term Bron fan. So this is his thought that he asked me to bring to the channel, and I'm definitely up for it. He believes that LeBron James should take the season off this upcoming season. Let Bronny come into the league by himself, get his feet wet, and Bron should come out of retirement after 1 year and kind of join Bronny wherever he's at. Since Bron is a free agent this year, it'd probably be good for LeBron's legs. Take a year off. It'd probably be, in his mind, and just ultimately be better for LeBron James Jr. to kind of come into the league, not compromise a roster, go through whatever the ebbs and flows of trying to earn his way through the team if he has to play in the G League for a year or so, not have Bron present, and then Bron join him a year later. So that's what my boy T was saying, because at the end of the day, LeBron James, if his son comes in next to him, the expectations are to be high. The draft could be compromised, something fierce, because of course, if you want to bring in Bronny, you may have a chance of getting LeBron James, so it could compromise the draft. This is a lot of things that look crazy if Bron joins his son next year. That doesn't look crazy if he takes a year off. So that's my boy T's point of view. He wanted me to bring that to the table, and I was happy to do so. I think I have a different way of looking at it to a degree. For one, I don't know that LeBron James taking a year off is really that good for him at this stage in his career. I've gone on the record many times saying I think LeBron James probably does better with more continuous, monotonous reps rather than breaks of any kind. And if he takes a whole year off, the way he likes to drink wine, his body could come back in a different space. He's never taken any time off, so I don't really know if that's good for him physically. But I do see the fruit in possibly just not asking his son to be a part of the team that he's on for a million different reasons, and we've talked about that. One of them is if you have him on your team right away, the expectations for him to come in and be a part of a win-now team gets stressful for him. He's going to be on the team with other role players, other guys who are going to have the pressure on them to win now just off the strength of being on a LeBron James team, and that can make for a really, really uncomfortable situation once Bron starts demanding that his son be on the floor with him so the dream could be fulfilled. What about the guys like Max Christie and Jalen Hood-Schifino if it's the Lakers? They're trying to build their way into the situation. They had to wait their turn, and their minutes are supposed to be compromised so that Bronny, a player who hasn't paid his dues, can come in. A guy who may not even be ready to contribute can come in and play with his dad. It can just be a very awkward and very difficult circumstance for Bronny and the coach and the rest of the team to navigate, especially since this is a win-now team. Any team with Bron on is a win-now team. So the expectations are going to be heightened, and that's something that LeBron James Sr. is going to have to be sensitive to. You're not asking your son to come into a situation that is expected for him to be able to develop properly. You're coming in, you're bringing the young man into a situation where the stakes are high, we must win a ring, and everybody's on high alert because they have to make LeBron James a champion this year, whatever year it is. So especially if it's a new team, LeBron's coming to himself. If it's not going to be the Lakers, he's going into a new locker room, and he's bringing his son into that locker room. It could be a situation where you're stepping on all kinds of toes. And while Bron may not care about stepping on toes, it doesn't mean that the rest of the team ain't going to have trouble with that. It ain't going to mean that he's going to have an easy, seamless transition into doing so. I think that there's a lot more cons to weigh against when you consider LeBron James joining a different team with this nepotism situation attached to it. I think he has a strong relationship with Jeanie Buss, who's willing to go through hoops to keep him happy. I don't know that every owner would do that. And if he goes to the wrong owner, I'm sure that some of them won't, especially this late in his career. Especially since the team that he's on right now look like it's going to get bounced in the first round. And that brings me to another point. If the Lakers get bounced in the first round, wouldn't that make the stakes a little different in regards to the value Bron should have on the Lakers to the front office? The demands that LeBron's son be drafted by the Lakers from LeBron's side of the camp. it's a lot of different things that happen when the Lakers get bounced in the first round. Are we still a win now team with our expectations as high next year? Given the fact that we can't seem to beat the Denver Nuggets at all, like it's a lot of stuff. Does he feel more inclined to leave? If for some reason he does join, if miss the playoffs, or rather, excuse me, go get bounced by the Denver Nuggets in 4 or 5, 6 games, it's a lot of stuff there as a fan of LeBron James that makes you wonder what the future holds for LeBron James if he goes forward with his son being attached to him in his free agency. If he compromises the draft, I think the Lakers will likely have the 18th pick or somewhere back there. If we get bounced in the first round, I do think the Pelicans will give us our pick this year and take next year's pick. Do we use the 18th pick overall on Bronny? I think it's a good chance the Lakers may consider that. My boy T thinks that a team is going to use one of the top picks to take Bronny because of the idea of being able to get LeBron with him. I think that you would need all but a guarantee for a team to want to do that. I think it could be bad for the team that does that based on the owners all being in cahoots with one another, willing to blackball people, willing to make life difficult on whoever disrupts their situation. And I think that would be a disruption when you consider the trickle-down effect of compromising some of these top players in this draft stock. You might be dealing with lawsuits. You might be dealing with circumstances that can get really ugly. I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense for the NBA owners, any NBA single owner, to turn against the rest of the owners and compromise the draft to that degree just so he can get an opportunity at maybe signing LeBron James. It still could be a bluff, etc. Maybe LeBron decides to resign with the Lakers anyway, and now you got his son. You done wasted a top 5 pick on his son, and that boy is not a top 5 pick in this league, as we know. So it's a lot. It's a lot to consider, but I think my boy T is under the assumption that the guarantee that Bron would sign is in place, and I just don't think it's a guarantee. If you draft his son, you get him. I think it's a risk, and I don't know that it's one worth the cons that could be possible. But my boy T, he's on point with he's on board with that. He would do it if he were an owner. It would opportunity to get LeBron James, whether Bron could keep you in contention or get you to that level or not. It's not about that in his mind. It's more so about the overall storyline and the circus and the revenue that a team like Miami or New York would probably benefit a great deal from having. Now, of course, Miami and New York, I don't know about Miami's pick situation, but the New York Knicks have all the picks in the world, and we did see LeBron James flirting with the Knicks earlier this year when he went down there for a road game. So I think the possibility of the Knicks drafting Bronny with one of their picks isn't bad. It isn't bad, and their ability to get a higher pick is there. They got the trade pieces with those picks to maybe combine them and get a better one. So if they want to go all out or do something like that, it's possible. I don't know that they would, but it's possible. So yeah, man, that's really what it is. I'm just relaying the message. I think the Los Angeles Lakers are in a very tricky spot if they get bounced in the first round, man. I think they have a lot to consider about what's worth and what's not. I think they have a lot to consider in regards to what their prospects are in this draft, and the fact that they don't have another pick until 26 is something to really consider when you want to go the route of drafting a player that probably can go undrafted and you can still get him in Bronny James. So it becomes a real tricky for me. I don't probably use my 18th pick overall to get him. If anything, I'm probably trading that pick to try to get better, to improve my team at this point. If we get bounced in the first round, that pick could be turned into a role player to help you defend some of these guys that you're having trouble with. Or maybe that player can be someone you draft with that pick. So I don't know, man. We got a lot to consider. Our offseason is going to get tricky if this goes the way it looked like it's going after one game in these playoffs. So we'll be talking about it too. But I just wanted to give you that quick video. I'll probably make some others as well. But for now, that's what I got. My name is BDF44. I'll thank y'all for watching. I'm out.